Okay, we're about to start phase 2 of the layering, right? We have some step flashing down. We're now going to go and put the Grace ice and water. And now you guys know at Signature we use full CertainTeed packages that normally include CertainTeed WinterGuard ice and water, which you hear us say all the time is industry best, but there are exceptions to that, right? If we're ever going to work on a slope that is deemed unwalkable, right, something that we have to plank or harness in to change, right, we're not going to use the standard peel and stick underlayments, because if you've used those, you know, right, you can peel the back off of a WinterGuard product from GAF or from CertainTeed or a GAF underlayment, and if it's misplaced, it's forgiving. You get an opportunity to pick it up and replace it, right? With the Grace ice and water, you're really not going to get that opportunity. It's very unforgiving. That's why a lot of project managers don't like to put it on the job site, because if not in expert hands, it can get really messy. So why would we use that today? The reason we're using that today is because the area that we're fixing the leak, right, is over this where you see my cushion, that little dormer roof, which is essentially like a 2-foot pent roof. But where it's joined to the dormer behind it, right, the secondary, the background dormer, the larger, we have to seal that joint. That's where the leak is. And for that reason, anytime we're going up a wall, or anytime you see us using this on a roof, it's because the roof is sloped so steeply that it's almost like a wall, right? And the last thing that we want is our underlayment, right, shifting and moving when it gets hot. Remember, this is not a high temperature base. So if you have a moderate slope, a little bit more than flat, or what we would call walkable, it's fine, because the sun's going to come down on that underlayment. It's going to settle with the shingles and it will adhere and stick. If it's on a steep slope and we start to get pockets, suppose you get a 6 or a 12-inch air pocket where the adhesion has separated and water gets behind. Now you have the potential for water to pool in that 6 or 12-inch pocketed area and cause a major problem, like it eat a 12-inch hole through the sheathing. So for that reason, if we're on a steep slope, we'll use the Grace. But the reason we're using it today is because we have a joint that's going to be the roof slope and the eave wall, right? So we want to make sure that if we're running peel and stick ice and water up a wall, that it's something that's going to adhere and stick. When we put it in place, it's going to stay there. And that's what you accomplish with the Grace Select Ice and Water Shield. Again, this is about $300 a roll in comparison to your, next best roofing underlayment, which, they average about a little bit more than $100 a roll. So it's not going to be often used, right? Because it's overkill on some projects. But for ones like this, you're addressing a leak, it's in the joint. Your joint is a wall and the roof slope. Grace is your product in that circumstance.